I don't know what to say.
Oh, but the Lord is my shepherd.
Meet Zach.
This film starts with Zachary. Zach Hutton was a literary luminary, renowned for his eloquent prose and an undeniable charisma that drew people into his orbit. His words had the power to transport readers to far-off worlds and evoke emotions that resonated deeply within their souls. But, for all his talent and charm, Zach had a darker side, one that threatened to engulf him completely. His Achilles heel was a relentless craving for alcohol, a vice that seemed to hold him in an unbreakable grip. The allure of intoxication was, for Zach, an escape from the realities of life and a way to forget the personal demons that plagued him. Equally enticing was his penchant for beautiful women, a weakness that led him down a treacherous path. It was a day that began like any other but soon turned fateful when his mistress, a captivating woman ensnared by his charm, walked in on him in the midst of a tryst with her seductive hairdresser. The explosive confrontation that followed sent shockwaves through Zach's life, shattering the delicate balance he had maintained. Moments later, his estranged wife, Alex, entered the tumultuous scene, discovering the shocking tableau. In her hands, she held Zach's revolver, a potent symbol of their tumultuous past and the emotional ammunition that had been exchanged between them over the years. In that charged moment, fueled by anger, betrayal, and despair, she stood at the precipice of a life-altering decision. The option to exact vengeance on her unfaithful husband was tantalizingly close, but she chose instead to spare him. It was a pivotal juncture that marked the culmination of their tempestuous relationship, one that had oscillated between love and loathing for far too long. The unbridgeable chasm between them had finally widened to an irreparable point, and they separated for good. With his world unraveling, Zach descended into a dark abyss of self-destruction. Alcohol became his constant companion, numbing the pain of his losses and missteps. He sought refuge in the arms of a succession of women who, like him, were grappling with their own unresolved desires and unmet needs. His reckless behavior and hedonistic pursuits led him to abandon his writing career, a once flourishing avenue for his creativity that now lay in tatters. The nadir of his life came on one surreal evening when he found himself at a formal party, inebriated and disoriented, absurdly dressed in a genie's costume. This costume, farcical in itself, served as a metaphor for the absurdity of his existence. He had become a caricature of the man he once was, lost in a bizarre and fantastical world of his own making. His ill-fated affairs continued, none more peculiar than his involvement with a volatile woman named Molly. In a bizarre turn of events, she subjected him to an excruciating experience with a skin treatment electrotherapy machine, causing his body to convulse uncontrollably. These encounters mirrored the chaotic and dysfunctional world he had created for himself, where even intimacy was fraught with turmoil. In a particularly comical yet surreal episode, Zach found himself in a dark room with a woman named Amy, both adorned with luminous condoms. Their intimate rendezvous took an unforeseen twist when Amy's boyfriend returned to the hotel room, similarly attired. What ensued was a frantic and absurd fight, their glow-in-the-dark attire bouncing wildly across the darkened space. It was a physical manifestation of the outlandish and tumultuous nature of Zach's life. However, it was a moment of sheer desperation that ultimately jolted Zach into a harsh realization. He disrupted his ex-wife's wedding day, a final, desperate plea for her attention and an acknowledgement of just how far he had fallen. It was in that moment that the full extent of his out-of-control lifestyle became painfully clear. He knew that if he were to regain his dignity and self-respect, he had to make a profound change. With unwavering determination, Zach embarked on a journey of sobriety, abandoning his womanizing ways and rediscovering his passion for writing. Against all odds, he managed to turn his life around. He began the arduous process of rebuilding his career and, more importantly, himself. In an incredible feat, he achieved the trifecta of recovery that Alex had once doubted he could attain: sobriety, a renewed sense of creativity, and genuine self-improvement. In the end, Zach's transformation was about much more than just winning back his ex-wife's love. It was a profound journey of self-discovery and redemption, a story of personal growth and resilience that served as a testament to the human capacity to rise from the depths of one's own self-destructive tendencies. Zach Hutton's life had been a roller coaster of excess. But in finding the strength to confront his demons and emerge from the chaos, he discovered that the most powerful tale he could ever tell was his own.